G'day guys, and welcome back to another Wednesday night live stream. Thank you for joining us. We see a lot of regular people in the comments already, and the numbers are looking good. Last week we had a cracker of a week. We had 1,011 people watching the show, so that was absolutely fantastic. So let's try and break that record tonight. The best record so far has been 1,800 people watching the show live. So before we start, can you give this video the thumbs up? And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And after the video as well, go down and lay a comment, because that does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can find Jason and me on Facebook, what else, Instagram, and Parler. And also, if you like what we do, you can sign up to our Patreon. Every cent helps go towards the show, and we really do appreciate it. So tonight's topic is actually from someone from Patreon, which is fantastic. I'll just quickly look him up. I forgot his name. Before we start, here we'll bring in Jason. G'day, Jason. How are you?
Good. What's been happening? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. So it's going to be another big one. Last week was pretty good too. So what's been happening with you? Anything exciting, man? Or
mate, it's finally stopped raining. It was unbelievable. Did not stop for about almost a week, just continuously. It was unbelievable here. Absolutely flooded. My local town's flooded. So hopefully I can get across the river tomorrow, but we'll soon see, because it was just coming up on the road this morning when I had to go out. And yeah, bad, real bad up here. But you've had a bit of flooding as well, haven't you?
yeah, man, not far from my house, so it's pretty full on. I think it was raining. I went on a hunting trip this weekend, last weekend I should say. Yeah, it was just like, I think Thursday it was bucketing down all day. It was very hard to pack the vehicle. Had to wait until I think there was a gap in the rain at about 10:30 at night. So I was like out the front, trying to get everything ready, get over, all the ammo ready, all the stuff for the trip, because I strap a lot of stuff to the back of the car on the ute, so it's got no cover on it, sort of thing. So I had to try and cover everything up and get everything done. But yeah, no, it was a very, very interesting weekend. Had a good time. My mate who invites me down was on the trip, saying, I hope you don't tell people there was no rabbits. So disappointing, guys. But in a very, very interesting way, there's some very funny things that went on. I want to sort of have a chat to you about them. So we get there. Now, this property, my mate Mark is probably watching here on the stream as well, so he'll agree to that. This property is awesome for rabbits. If you've followed my AHP Outdoors YouTube channel, you would have seen it. Mate, hundreds and hundreds of bunnies. It's like this is just going to be the bunny mecca for the next 20 years. We went there in November of last year, and I think, Mark, if he's still watching on here, he'll agree that, holy crap, man, they reckon myxomatosis has literally – just the breeding conditions were right. The weather was right. There's basically no rabbits on this property anymore. It's unbelievable, dude. And we were so, holy crap, like what on earth has happened? We're going to our spots. We're glassing. Where's the rabbits? Next spot, no rabbits. Glassing, no rabbits. Anyway, but I'll tell you a story. So on the first night, it was still quite warm down there. So I come down the bottom of the hill. Anyway, I'm looking up the hill. It's almost a 15-degree angle. Lots of blackberries. I see something jump up to grab something and then back down again. I thought, oh, what's that? A bloody wallaby, is it? Anyway, I get on the binos. Shit, man, pigs. I couldn't believe it. Like 100 meters from the road. Like the road's over here, hill goes up this way. Anyway, the boys are back at camp having a good time. They just got there, so they're sort of relaxing for the first night. I'm screwing around with cameras trying to get this. I'm pulling the gun out. Then I couldn't find my binoculars. It was like a cluster, absolute cluster of errors, right? Anyway, so I'm looking up on the hill. I see a pack of 4 pigs, and then in front of them, there was 3 or 4, so there's about 8 of them total. Anyway, so I'm trying to get the camera ready. So I'm up on the car. I'm standing on my side rock sliders on my car. I'm on the wrong angle, so I'm sort of sliding back off that. Can't really get a good position. My rear rest is like one of my hats. And I was like, this is just crazy, man. Anyway, they finally move into this area. One good one sitting right perfect. It was about 315 meters. Yeah, to 300 to 350. It was a fairly long way. Anyway, so I dialed in, Kestrel, the whole bit, rangefinder. Yep, this is perfect. Didn't factor in my angle. Forgot to do it. Anyway, bang, hits right next to this pig. I said, oh, you're kidding me. They're going to be gone. Anyway, trying to scratch around for my binoculars again. Two of them haven't ran. They're up against the blackberry about 15 meters away from the one I shot at. He was gone. All right, there's a little baby porker and looked like the mother probably. Anyway, load up again. Just aiming. Bang, let it rip hard. And then I heard it go, I thought it was a pretty good shot. But anyway, this thing literally jumps on top of this 6 foot high blackberry. Half its body is caught in the blackberry, man, like nothing you've seen before. It's squealing and that. So I'm like, boom, load it again, about to shoot it again. I can tell it's starting to, it's basically expiring, right? It rolls off the blackberry onto the ground. And this is like 100 foot wide, 100 foot long of blackberry, huge. Anyway, it rolled onto the ground and there was a blackberry like maybe 2-3 meters away. And it took about like literally 15 seconds for it to hobble. Well, when I say that, I think it was expiring pretty much right there. Anyway, I walk up the hill. I thought, yes, I've got my first pig. I get up there. I'm thinking it's going to be dead right at the blackberry there. Man, I couldn't find it. So I just must have had just enough gusto to get in that blackberry, and it was so thick. But you've never seen it jumped on top of this blackberry. Half its body's caught. It's like this. It's squealing. Bang, load up, rolls off, gone. And I'm so disappointed, man, because I'm like, this would have been my first pig. I started to panic again. Like I started to just let my emotions get the better of me. So anyway, it was a good weekend. Mark, who's on the stream, he was like saying, maybe we'll get up there with the shearers and we'll, because I know exactly where it went. There was only 2 spots it could have gone. I know where it rolled. So he's like, mate, we'll get in there. We'll hack up the blackberry. I said, it's going to be a nightmare, man. We don't know how far it went in there. So, I mean, it's expired. There's no doubt about it. It took 15, 20 seconds to walk 3 meters. It was wobbling. I thought, no, it's going to be, I thought it'd be right there, but turns out it wasn't, man. So anyway, but there's nothing like you've ever seen with a pig up to its waist, jumping into a blackberry, doing this, and then rolling off the blackberry, man. It was like, I got to admit, it was pretty awesome. I mean, I don't like to make bad shots. Obviously, I don't think it was a bad shot, but it was good, man. It was a good trip. Loved it. It was good.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Even with your unconfirmed kill there. That's good.
but no, I can't believe it. So I'm sorry, guys. There'll be no. I might flick one together of some, validation of targets and some gong work and that, which we did do. But I'm going away next week as well on just for a long weekend hunting some deer. So hopefully I gonna basically follow my mates around and hopefully film a deer hunting video. So if you like that, check out the channel, man.
Get some photos this time, so I can put it up on screen here for you, so everyone knows that you got something. So it'll be good. No, that's it's a shame about that. Nothing worse than driving for miles and for a weekend away, and you get there and there's just nothing to shoot. It's like really, really disappointing. So hopefully I'll be going away over Easter. Hopefully, if everything comes together, which will be good. I haven't been out for a couple of years, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So it's definitely been an interesting week with all this rain and everything. Can't get out shooting, just absolutely had enough of it. But it's good to see a lot of people here, and we got Chris Miller here. Thank you for the super chat. Remember, guys, if you donate to the show and put up a super chat, we will read your topic out as long as it's not too offensive. And Chris Miller just had my Atlas. Cal Gen 2 bipod delivered today. So excited, lad. Yep, I use Atlas, and you've got an Atlas as well, haven't you, Jason?
Yep.
Yeah, they're bloody good. That's all I use. I just swap it from gun to gun to gun.
I think the best way people to tip is what I get is those little 2 think they're 2 or 2.5 inch Atlas rails. You can buy a bunch of different ones. They're very small. I think Seekins does one as well. And you just put them on all your guns, mate. So that even your hunting guns, you just, use the sling swivel stud. Yeah, you've got to drill through it. But again, measure twice, cut once. And on most of the stocks where they mold them together, you'll actually see a line down the middle. So you know exactly where to line them up, check inside it, make sure you've got it the right way, that you want it, and just drill it and then put a couple of those, like a button. I'd have to show you a picture next week, but there's certain ways to do it. Bit of, what do they call it? Thread locker, like the one that you can actually break, put it on, screw it on. Mate, it's perfect. I got them on every single rifle that I've got, man, and does a fantastic job. And if you've got a chassis, you just use the M-lock system. It's basically the same thing. Just get the little mini ones and you're good to go.
Yeah, I use the Cardwell one, so they just come all pre-made. You just boom, put it on, put a pin through it, and it's done. To the swing swivel. So it's
yeah, that's the tight ass. For someone so technical, you should do it properly.
It works, and there's no drilling holes through your stocks. But
normally, about $30, eh? So if you do it, like if you sell it, you just sell it with it. So it comes with a rail, so people got no problem with that. Most people I think they're mostly using the pick rail sort of bipods. And then I've got to go. What do you got? I got the Atlas BT46, which is the swivel head one with the whole kit and caboodle. But it's worth its weight in gold, guys. Worth its weight in gold.
It is. I've tried. The next closest one I'd find would be the Boscobel, and I've got the Boscobel, the Australian-made feet for it. So it's got the spikes, the magnets, and all the different attachments, and you just take the bottom off, clip them on. Great little kit, great guys as well. They're over in Western Australia, so look them up, Boscobel, and they make for the Atlas the connections that you can put spikes, and there's got claws, and there's a magnets that actually work quite well. I think I've got a video on the channel. You can go down and have a look at it. So that's a good. That's something I'd really recommend in getting. The spikes when you're on the ground is fantastic. It really is. The big long titanium spikes. But,
that's what I don't have. I don't have any of I've just got the rubber feeder, which seems to do the job for me. The only problem is when you're trying to get a couple of guns up, and you're trying to get, maybe some photos or something, you spent so much on a friggin' bipod that you can't afford another one. So you've got to take one picture. You can't line them up together. I mean, I do have one of those cheap ones, which I actually thought wasn't bad at the time. I think it was the Vanguard. It wasn't too bad, but as soon as you start getting the heavier rifle, it struggles a lot. It's just cheap. It's cheap. It's not that cheap actually, but it wasn't that great to be honest. It was okay, but I remember when I first got the Atlas, Aaron, I said, ugh, what's this thing? Is this thing really what the hell? This thing's not going to hold a heavy gun, man. No, mate, totally wrong. Totally wrong. Again, Atlas, please pay us for good commentary because we're saying it for free.
Exactly. I don't even know who brings them in, to be quite honest with you.
And
then you get a lot of people, and we've all tried it, haven't we? The Atlas knockoffs for $30 off eBay, and they're just crap. They fall apart in no time. People go, oh, well, I can buy 15 of these for one Atlas. Yeah, well, I don't want to be out in the field and it falls apart. I've tried 2 of them, and they've both broken on me. You don't want to be out in the field and it breaks because you're stuffed. So I'd much rather just buy once, cry once. And that's what I do with all my tools. Buy good tools, buy good equipment, and you're not going to have a problem.
Yeah, that means the same thing. I've gone to different optics. I used to buy a lot of cheap stuff, and I've just come to think I'd rather have less guns these days and better optics than shoot one gun at a time. Man, I've got that many guns now, and 8 or something, and I can't even get to use them half the time. So you only shoot one gun at a time. So I've got everything that covers my base. So don't really need any more per se. I'm just happy to put better optics, better glass, maybe some, get good bipods and that if you can afford them. If not, save up for them because you're going to be spending, even on some of the cheaper bipods, $150, $200, double that and a bit more, and you got the best of the best pretty much. So,
yeah, Salty says here the Harris knockoffs are good value. eBay for $10. Well, the Harris is a totally different ballfield. I've had an original Harris and it fell apart. So I'd never buy it. Personally, this is only me. I'd never buy another Harris. I'd much rather the Picatinny rail connection ones. As you said, we just use the different connections, snap them on, quick release, does the job. I might buy another Atlas, actually, so I got 2 on the go. But, the way to go. Yeah, and I agree. Pretty much the cheap Harris knockoff ones, are just as good as the original Harris. But when it comes to Atlas, the cheap knockoff Atlases are nothing compared to the real Harris.
Because you know what I used to hate is when you put them away in the gun bag, you flip them up and you can't get them in the gun bag, and then you got to undo the little screw. Too much for me, man. Way too much for me. I'd rather just get that little locking lever. Boop, done. I've even got an Atlas bag. I think it comes with like a little zip bag, so I'm not scratching it and throwing it around. It comes with a protective case. Just unzip it, chuck it in, zip it up, chuck it in my thing, ready to go, mate. You know, if you're going to spend that sort of money, you know, I'd like to look after them. Occasionally give them a spray on just some of the steel points with, you know, a bit of inox or lanox or something, mate. You know, shake them off or run them off with a bit of compressed air. Mate, done. Put them back in there. Good to go for 20 years. You'll never have a problem, man. You might be right. I might even eventually pick up another one as well. So, okay, fuck, what's this? Is this conversation about Atlas? Is it shit?
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Joseph, for the $10. Keep up the good work, fellas. Join up to the NSC, everyone that hasn't, and leave a like on the video. Also have a topic about about the mouse plague. Yeah, saw a little bit of that in the news this week. That scene from 007 Nightfall comes to mind. Skyfall. I don't know what scene that is. I've only seen that movie once, a long time ago. But yes, and we want to thank the NSC for bringing this episode to you guys. They're sponsoring this show tonight. So if you haven't joined the NSC, get over and join them. They are the only organisation that is actually fighting in court for your gun rights. So it doesn't cost much, $35 a year, and you are helping to save your guns. They're doing really good things. They've got, I think, over 16 cases now they're fighting in court against the gun bans, which is fantastic. To show me another organisation that's doing that.
Yeah, man, there's not many. There's not many around, unfortunately, which is a shame, but you know, good things are happening, so that's good. I mean, we're still trying to find out what's happening in WA with their elections. Things have changed a little bit overnight, so there's a possibility for one shooters and fishers getting in. That's a possibility. It's a 50-50 chance at the moment. I think that's Rick Mazza for Southwest, I think. But other than that, yeah, that's touch and go at this stage, so no one's really sure. So I guess we'll just wait and find out. So if that's 50-50, otherwise, if not, it'll be, unfortunately, election wipeout for all pro-gun parties in WA, which I guess you did sort of pick. You did sort of pick that about a month ago that, you know, that things may not go well in WA, and we're pretty much there now. So we're barely holding on to one position. So going to be pretty sucky for you know, WA gun owners going forward. Not that it wasn't in the first place anyway, unfortunately, because government keeps attacking shooters in WA and the police, which is very disappointing. But we'll see what happens, man. I mean, but then again, at the day, they were still, even when we did have representation, they were still attacking us anyway, and we had no power to do anything anyway. That's why we've been saying the legal action is the way forward, and that's proven to be successful at the moment, and we're kicking some goals, so that's good.
Yeah, definitely. So, guys, if you haven't signed up to NSC, jump over to their page. In the description, there is the link to join the members part to join the membership, and it's for their new website. They've got a brand new website that looks really, really good. So definitely down in the description, go and join because they make this show possible, and they make it possible and saved a lot of guns for you guys, for everyone. So definitely go look at them.
Someone asked, let me say one thing. Someone asked on the forum, like, what is the Leapers? I never heard about it. I've just looked it up now. Leapers UTG heavy duty bipod. Yeah, it looks pretty good. $209. I'm not used one, man. So if anyone's used one in the comments, let us know. Someone also asked, Aaron, like, what's the alternative to Atlas? And I was like, I mean, I don't really know, man. Like, because there's Harris, but again, I love that quick connect stuff. It just really makes your life a lot easier. And if you can afford to buy one, get one. I mean, again, if you have it for 10 years and look after it, you can get components for them, like the feet and stuff like that. I mean, what's that? Turns out to be like $50 a year or something. That's pretty cheap, man. So in my opinion, get one if you can. I mean, yeah.
I've used lots and lots of different bipods over the years, and I honestly think you can't beat the Atlas. You just can't. Kieran says he likes his Magpul. I've only held one of that in the shop. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. I love Magpul gear. Their magazines are fantastic, but I've heard a lot of up and downs about the Magpul. It's a bit wobbly. It's not that stable. The legs can move a little bit, and that's something I really hate. Is when you have your legs out and it jiggles a little bit. I can't stand that. Where the Atlas doesn't do that. So, I've heard a lot of about 50-50 on the Magpul there so far.
Hey, I'm a convert. When I got it, I go, really? Like, this is it? Is this how good it's, is this going to get? And I'm like, all right. And then, so much better. So much better, man.
The only other one is that Boscobel. They also make their own bipod with a special ratchet system. It's not too bad. I've got the prototype one here that they sent me. It's not too bad. Once again, there's a video on the actual bipod as well. So just going through a few of the comments and seeing what we got here.
Should I go through them? I mean, if we haven't put a thumb up, that'd be great. Do that for us, guys. Really appreciate a thumbs up. But let's get maybe Aaron will just go through some of our people, man. What do you reckon?
Yep. Well, Dave G says here the Accutech. Yeah, they're good bipods as well. They make Atlas, don't they?
No, I think it's Accutech. Who makes? I thought it was BT Industries that makes Atlas. I can't remember.
Yes, it is. It was that long ago. I've bought it years ago. I don't have the packaging or anything. I don't think anymore. Accutech. Yeah, they make the big ones. I've used that on. I think you'll see that on the Victrix video I got. The 300 Norma that had an Accutech on it, and that was like $900, and that was an absolute beast of a bipod. It sticks out like that far, comes out and down.
Yeah, maybe we'll show them on the next week's show. But let's go through some people, mate. Who we got here? We got Fur Eater's just done us a super chat, so we'll go through that in a minute. Dave Hubner, our buddy Dave, Sam Alfonso, thanks for the says he loves the show. Andy 1234777, aka our buddy Daniel Andrews. Hope your back's doing a lot better, Mr. Andrews. Not. Anyway, we know he's not obviously Daniel Andrews, guys. He wouldn't be tuning into us on his day off while he's sitting in his hospital bed. But who we got? Steve Device. Never seen you, Steve, before. So thanks for joining us. If you have, we may not have seen you commenting. Joseph Sherman, of course. We've got Snake the Peg. Okay, never heard of Snake. Sorry, man, if you've been on the stream. Harps 666, he's a regular. We've got Nick Blackwell. We've seen him before. Brett Morris is here. We've seen Matt Abella before as well. Our buddy Chris Miller. Oh, our friend Tech Support. Tech Support is back for another live stream. We missed you last week, Tech Support. So welcome back. We've got Long Range Lead Slinger. Chris Legendary's back as well. We've got Pete Robertson, Steve Device, Dallas Wood, our buddy JR, he's a regular, Bagara HMR. We've got Panaplex, he's a regular. And, of course, the NSC. Shit, man, we've got heaps here. Sorry, guys. There's so many more people on the live stream these days. Trevor Hill, Lockie McFarlane. Lockie's back. Colin Penfold, our buddy Colin, of course, he's back as well. Heaps of people, guys. Sorry if I've mixed anyone. Body by Dynamite 10, Nick McCarr, Griffo 17, Dallas Wood. Man, heaps. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Adrian Zara and Aaron Johnson, plus a few more at the top, which I haven't seen or haven't read yet. So, anyway, good. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. So, for Fur Eater, thinking about getting a Black Series camper. Has anyone had any experience with them? I have no experience with campers. I'm just a swag man. Just chuck the swag on the ground and just sleep, basically. So,
what do you say? Thinking about getting a Black Series camper? Nah, let him know. Let him know. If any of you guys have got one, let him know in the comments. Yeah, I've got a tent for winter because I like getting changed in winter in a tent, like a stand-up tent, like a teepee. I think mine's made by that company in Melbourne, Southern Cross, so it's an expensive one, but I bought it second-hand off a lady that never used it for like half price. That's pretty good. And then mostly in summer, I just use a swag, but I don't go out in summer. But those warmer months, sort of pre-summer, post-summer as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. No, I just have my swag. That's all I actually use. I used to have a tent, but I don't know what happened to it. Jason Howard, thank you for the $50 donation. Had a safe check during the week. First one in 5 years. I only own around 15 rifles. Police said they will be checking owners, invading your privacy of 20 plus guns every year from now on. They start off targeting large firearm collections, maybe. Yeah, I've heard that too. A lot of people have been complaining about it, that the cops are going to be coming around and nosing through their private property and all that, which I think totally unjustified for doing it. There's no reasoning for safe checks. I actually got a buddy who lives on a property and he has a very nice gun collection. And what he is setting up now, he's had enough of it, is anyone who comes onto his property, so say you bring a friend along or something, you're not a real personal friend, you got to show ID, you write it in a book, they know who you are, so if anything happens to his guns or anything, they've got a record of it. And he said when they come do my police check, they can write their details, their address, their phone number, everything in the book. And so if anything happens to the guns, the police know where the guns were, so they should be the first on the suspects list, because he doesn't tell anybody where his guns are. So he's had enough of people coming, the police checks and all that on the gun. So he's going to get them to sign like a visitor's book with all the details. So if anything ever happens, you can just look through, goes, right, these guys were here, they know where my guns are, go and investigate them.
JR said it's called spring and autumn, Jace. Yes, that's true, man. Just got to, post-summer, pre-summer. That means you don't go out when it's hot, man. You don't go out when it's hot. Anyway, yeah, but I have heard that, dude. Yeah, the 20 gun thing. I mean, they're probably, to be honest, again, they give out the head honchos give out the orders, unfortunately, and then the poor bastards on the ground are the ones that have got to go out and go, oh my God, I got to go out and do this. I mean, they don't like it either, man. So that half the time they go, what's the point of this? Because under the New South Wales, they've got to call you to say that they're coming. That's under Section 19.2 of the Firearms Act in New South Wales. So, again, so they let you know they're coming in a week. So what are they hoping to achieve by that? I mean, if someone was doing something wrong, which we know when no one does something wrong if they've got legal, licensed, law-abiding firearms, I mean, if they were doing something wrong, they'd have time to hide it or clean up and do whatever they want. So just, again, the whole purpose of this makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, because it's not going to achieve anything. Like, if someone was doing something wrong, they did have an illegal gun and they're gun safe, which they don't, but if they did, you think they're going to leave it in there for the cops to come and see it? I mean, again, stupid, waste of time, waste of good police time, waste taxpayer money. Be great if they got out there and just, hit the roads, pick up the rapists, the pedos, and, all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
well, I just said is, what's inside your house is your private property, and it's no one else's business to be snooping around and looking at it at all. Because when I did my safe check, he was there for 3 hours, and he was starting to get really shitty. So, hey, not my problem, mate. Trying to find the guns, trying to find all the serial numbers, and he was getting a bit shitty at me by the end of it.
Hey, Matt Cato is going to love this one, Aaron, because I showed you. You said he's been following me on Instagram. I've had a bit of a bloody scope addiction the last couple of month or two. And he goes, hey, Jace, it's been more than 24 hours. Aren't you due for another scope? Well, speak of the devil. Again, I've never really bought Leopold before, wasn't a huge fan. So I picked up a VX5 HT. And even though I know Aaron, a bunch of people have had problems with Vortex and stuff over the years, like this is first-hand experience of constant warranty claims, I got the PST Gen 2, man. So I'm going to give it a try and see if, I have any warranty issues like anyone else, man. So, that's another 2 scopes that have arrived this week. So, man, I'm a bit crazy, dude. I'm a bit crazy. To be honest, even those 2 there, I don't even have a gun to put them on yet, dude. That's how crazy I am. So, hopefully, probably I've got a 22. I might put one of those on there. But, yeah, I'm going to try a few of those. Never really tried those brands before, so let's hope they don't shit themselves on me.
Yeah, well, I actually had, if we start, thank you, Custard Pipe Cat, for your donation for $10. Thank you very much. After last week's show, had quite a few people saying about how they are now bypassing the wholesalers in Australia and going straight to America now. I've had close to a dozen messages of people saying, yeah, that's what I do. I just go straight to America now. Said the wholesalers want too much money and can't afford to buy them in the shops. Everyone seems to have a hand in the pie. We're not they've been importing scopes. They're telling me they're importing scopes for like almost half the price of what you can buy here from the shop from a retail outlet of all things over in the States. That's with the conversion money from a normal retail price in the US. I definitely think, as we said last week, something's definitely a bit wrong with how it works over here.
It's interesting because we didn't have many like that. I wonder what's changed. I mean, is it Biden? Because I mean, the dollar was, well, at least at one stage was tanking there. That's inevitably not going generally under a Democrat government. Normally, the dollar doesn't do as well. I mean, at one stage during Obama, we were our Australian dollar was actually worth more than the US dollar. So I only see that continuing for the future, and probably the next maybe a couple of years, possibly, we may even see another dollar for dollar par. I mean, they're saving half the money at the moment. That's what the emails that you've got and the Instagram messages. Well, they're saving half the money, and not about half the money, probably about 40% of the money. And the dollar's still about what, 28 cents, $1.28 to yep. Basically about, so you're paying about extra 30%. So what happens when, that dollar gets on par? You're going to get some really bloody good deals, aren't you? When, if we get on par dollar for dollar with the USA, you'll be buying, scopes will be, $950, like in that sort of league. And you'll be getting them over here for $1,050. And they're what, how much is that? I think what are the PSTs these days, guys? Let me know in the comments. What, 1,900? The VX5 HDs, 315, 44 CDS, ZL2. This is the HTMR reticle, which is in mils. They're not they're similar price to the PSTs, about 1,850 or thereabouts. So, it's going to be interesting. But I wonder why at the moment it's just popped up all of a sudden, like this. Yeah, I got no idea. But anyway, maybe Biden and people are freaking out and saying, what the go is.
Yeah, I reckon we need a scope company to support the live stream as well, so we can show some of their products off and talk more about scopes, because that's the biggest question I get is what scopes, what are good, what scopes should I buy? And that's probably one of the biggest messages I get on social media from people about all that.
GK says, how are they getting past ITAR laws? US dealers can't ship outside the US bound by ITAR. I don't know, man. Some of these guys might know people. They package them up, sporting goods. I got no idea. I mean, it's only a scope. It's not a prohibited item in Australia, so no issue with that coming through customs here in Australia, as far as I'm aware. Not that I know, but I think so. So it's going to be interesting. See what happens over the next 6 to 12 months, and whether the dollar goes good. I used to buy a fair bit of stuff from Cabela's years ago. That's because I was fairly poor. Still am, because I keep buying too much shit. But again, I just get clothes cheap. A lot of the stuff was cheap, and that's when the dollar was on par. And sometimes if you get like the 10% discount, that would cover your shipping fee. So I'm not saying go and do that. Definitely support your businesses and those types of things. But when you get to that on par dollar, fuck, man, you're talking 50, 60% at that stage. I mean, that's very hard to look past, man. Very hard to look past. And I'm not made of money. A lot of people watching this stream aren't made of money. So
no, exactly. It'd be nice to see if it does get that, the wholesalers lowering their prices to the equivalent amount, just not taking $10 off or something. Drop it by 40% if the dollar goes up by 40%. So it'd be nice if they did that. It'll restore a bit of faith in it all. Thank you very much for MG Monkey for $10. Cheers from Alaska. Now, Alaska's one place I really want to go. I'm not a big snow fan, but I'd like to go to Alaska. And I'd like to have a shoot up in Alaska. That would be awesome. That's one thing I want to do on my bucket list, is go to see Alaska.
We might even have a place to go. One of the girls at my school, she married an American guy over here, and she sold up a place. She just lives out Western Sydney. Well, she does now. Now she lives in Anchorage, Alaska. So, and her husband, Ronnie, said, "Mate, come over anytime. Moose, whatever. He's a gun guy." She even messaged me from Alaska, and goes, like, what do I do for a gun safe? I don't know. It's a surprise. I don't know shit about it. What do I do? How many does he need? Like, how many guns he got? She goes, a lot. I said, well, what's a lot? 10, 20, 30? And she goes, I think he's got like 25 or something. And I said, okay, double that. You need a 50 gun safe, because as you guys know, if you've got big scopes, big guns, varmint rifles, all that shit, it's basically always double the amount you need. So,
that'd be good. Yeah, I'll definitely be keen doing that. Might even be able to catch up with our new friend, MG Monkey, who looks like he is a military man, which is really good. Always
big
good to see that.
For any military in the group, any guys, fighting for the country, congratulations, you deserve a medal. People always laugh, like when I see the government, hassling our servicemen, saying, well, you did this in war and we've got to now prosecute you. It's like, dude, you get bullets whizzing past your head, and you got some dickhead politician, we're going to, look at, we'll take these people on in court, and this is, it's just fucked, man. Like, seriously, go get bullets whizzing past your head and tell me what happens in war. Like, shut up, politicians, shut up, Really.
Exactly. Monkey says, come up in summer. I'm in Anchorage. We have lots of safes here.
This Monkey, don't tempt us. Me and Aaron will be there shooting. What do you got up there? Caribou, you got elk. What do you got up there? All these, maybe some black bear or some brown bear. Mate, we'll shoot them. Grizzly, whatever the hell they got up there. Mate, if it's there, we'll get a tag for it if they're available, and we'll shoot it. And then we'll hopefully enjoy our time there.
Exactly. Big shout out to Rob, hunting for Bigfoot. I've actually spoken to Rob this week on the phone. Very nice guy. Talked for quite a while about guns and building and a bit of woodworking. So big shout out to Rob. Very nice guy. It's always good to connect with you guys. I have a lot of fun talking to you guys. It's good. So he shoots and he builds stuff. So awesome dude. Talking about America, Biden now has decided he's going to push hard to bring in full-on gun control, like Australia stuff, after the mass shooting yesterday. So, looks like he's going to be pushing for semi-autos gone and standard capacity magazines, which is 30 rounds, all going to be lowered down to low capacity, just like Australia by the sounds of it. And I keep telling the guys on the US channels I talk to, mate, he was talking to our Prime Minister, and I heard that it was all about gun control, but just after he stole the election.
Yeah, did you see the idiot this week? If you've been on my Facebook page, I mean, the guy's so stupid, man. He's walking up Air Force One, up the the ladder or the stairs, whatever you want to call it. Mate, the guy trips over 3 times, man. The guy's got severe dementia. It's like, this is just sad, man. It really, really is. Watching this guy just complete and utter train wreck, and he's telling us about gun control. He can't even walk up the stairs. He fell 3 times, guys. Just type in Joe Biden falling on stairs. You can watch it. It's just, honestly, man, the guy's just, like, this guy's running the country, as they say, hashtag the Manchurian candidate.
Yeah, exactly. So, well,
let me say one thing. If anyone doesn't know what the Manchurian candidate was, it was a movie, was it, with Denzel Washington, basically about being illegitimate and, certain things not happening and being a sellout to other countries. And so, you should watch it. It's actually a pretty good movie.
Yep. Before we get on to our first story for the night, thank you very much, William. Just get bows, no restrictions on them. Well, no restrictions yet, but you wait. Yeah. You wait. Yeah, there's noises happening, I can tell you that now. Yeah. Won't be long. That's for sure.
Before we get into the powder thing, let's do that other one too, because someone put it in the comments. We don't want to say too much about this one. We don't know the guy, but thoughts on the that's the bikey one, Aaron.
Yes, okay. I'll bring this up now.
The bike got shot last year in in Western Australia. Someone said it was a 300-meter shot with a quote unquote sniper rifle. So then there was another video just this week posted by a dude that I didn't even know who the guy was, to be brutally honest. He posted, owns a gun shop, not this guy obviously, but the guy you're going to see. He owns a gun shop in WA. We didn't know the guy. Me and Aaron never heard of the guy, never heard of the business. So let's just stop it for a sec. I can't hear it. It's not playing. It's muted.
I just got part in the background. It's 2 minutes long, so we'll play it. It's only 2 minutes. Then we'll talk about it afterwards because it's not good. Not good at all.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, listen to this guy. So anyway, but let's just say one thing first. So basically this bikie got shot. Apparently they reckon it was from distance. I think this guy that owns the firearms store made some comments previously about, it must have been this caliber because, the sound of the crack and all. I don't know how you'd know that, to be really honest. But anyway, you can watch it and make up your own mind, guys. There's one part that's very interesting here. I'll let Aaron play it.
Yep, I'll just make sure the volume's up. Yep, all good. Okay, it's only 2 minutes, guys, so it won't be long.
It's been 3 months since Rebels bikie chief Nick Martin was gunned down with a single shot at the Perth Motorplex. Since then, everyone in Australia, certainly everyone in the WA Police Force, is wondering one thing: who pulled the trigger? So we're here today to put the theories to the test and answer the question, how hard is it to make a 300-metre kill shot?
So this is a Weatherby 243 calibre rifle. So it's a typical high-powered rifle. It's got a synthetic stock, stainless steel metalwork. It's a typical hunting scope on the top. The bullets get put into the magazine internal. The bolt strips the bullets out of the magazine and puts them into the barrel. When it's fired, the bullet exits out of the muzzle of the barrel. When you fire the rifle, not everything will be lined up correctly. To zero the scope in, you fire a shot and then you adjust from that error. And you use the adjustments on the top of the scope and on the side of the scope. People seem to think that you can place a shot at a very small target very easily, and you can't. The reality is a bit more complicated, but not so complicated that that shot couldn't have been made.
We're loading 5 rounds. The wind has just picked up a little bit, and it's actually not terribly different to the conditions when Nick Martin was shot at the Motorplex back in December. Firing first shot. Firing second shot. Firing third shot. Firing fourth shot. Fifth shot.
You've got 4 quite visible shots. It doesn't surprise me at all.
The most important takeaway from today's experiment is even a rank amateur like myself can hit a target from 300 metres first shot. The chilling thing is, if I can do it, then anyone can.
Well, definitely a bit of a bullshit beat up story, that is. So not good at all.
A couple of things there. You're playing something there, it's gone now.
Yeah, that's gone.
The interesting part is one where he said, this is I can't remember the exact words, people might remember in the comments, but this is your typical high-powered 243.
Yeah, Jesus. Where's all the 243 trolls I used to have on the website, on their site?
Hey, I got a 243, man. Nothing wrong with it, but I wouldn't say technically it was a high-powered rifle. It's just your mid-range, standards, centerfire, So it was like, what? And then what about the which I think they were? He was shooting mild steel because it was going straight through. And then was they sound effects? Everyone was like, pew.
Yes. They're all the same. The sound effects. I've got a couple of things here. Looks like he scoped himself as well at one stage because he's got a bit of a cut above his eye. And you see, notice can anyone make the kill shot? That's a bit of a dramatization there. Those sound effects, Jesus. Yeah, hitting steel. I've shot millions of rounds at steel, and I've never heard anything that clear like that pinging off at that sort of high-pitched sound. Ricochets don't sound like that. And check out his shirt. I bet you he's straight out of the Soy Boy College and lives in a little apartment in a city, because that shirt looks like it's fresh off the Big W coat hack, off the coat hanger, because that looks like it's never been worn before. So he's obviously trying to look like a good old country boy, but didn't quite pull it off. And just absolutely shocking. And I don't know about the shoot. I don't know about the guy, but Jesus, I'd never, ever talk to the media. To me, if you talk to the media, you're just as bad as a police snitch. It's never going to look good for us.
I'd understand people talking, again, this is what I keep saying. If they're on the same page of being pro-gun and they know how to make the argument, I don't have a problem with them talking to the media per se, provided they know what to say and you know what you're going to get. We don't want to be like America. We need to ban semi-automatic assault rifles, right? That those questions are coming. I always knew it when I would call up radio. Oh, we don't want to be like America. You got to be able to answer the question, because you know that they obviously didn't in this one, but when you're on radio, that's what they always bring up. We don't want to be like America. Why do they need assault rifles? You got to be able to answer those questions. If you're going to be worth your salt in Parliament or be an advocate for shooters, you got to know how to answer those questions, man. And a lot of people don't, and we just saw that. Like, for a start, the first issue was, this is a high-powered 243. It's like, Again, no, it's not. Again, you think a guy that would own a gun shop would be well up to speed. And why would you say that, man? Again, even if that wasn't the case, I'd go, this is your standard centerfire hunting rifle. This is just, if you're, shooting small to medium game. That's it. Again, it almost reminds me of that we don't need, I don't want to see AR-15s. Again, offering up way more information because you're either A, not prepared, or B, that's what these shooters actually believe. They believe in this sort of crap. You know what I mean? They don't know how to answer questions. If they do answer questions, they either A, answer them wrong, or B, that's what they actually believe in. And that's 10 times worse as well because they're just playing right into the hands of these media idiots.
Yeah. It's sorry, just reading some of the comments. Unbelievable. I would never even get on. When we were persecuted by the media that time years ago for shooting a bloody teddy bear, they phoned us. We just said, back then, Marty talked to them because I said, I won't talk to them. He gave them a quick couple of words. They twisted that around. Then another one, the Sydney Morning Herald, I think it was, phoned us, trying to be really nice. And it was just, nah, we won't talk to you. No matter what you say, you'll twist it around and blatantly lie about everything. And she actually wrote that. This was their comment. They won't talk to us because they think the media twists the words around. And she actually wrote that in the article because that's all she got out of us.
No,
I would not. I just wouldn't do it.
Man. People have got to know how to answer the questions. If you're not prepared or you think you are and you're going to say stupid things, you're better off just not talking to the media. Apparently this is not the first time this has happened from this guy. But I put it on Facebook. I didn't know the guy. Doesn't ring a bell. Don't know the company by any stretch. So not talking about him as an individual person, but the comments on my page saying they've had previous dealings with this company not being so great. So, but anyway, that's up to them. You guys shop where you want to shop. I'm not going to tell you not to shop there or anything like that. I just think probably could have done better. It wasn't that bad, but it's just certain commentary like that about, this is high powered. Like, why would you say that? It's just stupid to say things like that. Again, I'm not sure, just not prepared, or that's what they actually believe in. They believe it's a high powered thing, which is actually way worse, way worse.
Yeah, well, you know what it's given to them is that all you've given now is a lot of stock footage for the next beat up story for when, in I think it's 7 weeks or something. Don't get me wrong, but it's a 25th anniversary of Port Arthur. So all stuff like that is all can be used as stock footage. I've seen that before. Idiot shooters sucking up to the media, and look at me, I got my ugly mug on the face shooting a gun on the TV. Look at me, and their footage has popped up in anti-gun stories throughout the years. Man, Jesus, even a stupid YouTuber here in Australia, he's gone on the media. I've seen a few YouTubers here gone on the media and talking. Just like, geez, you just don't do it. There's no way in hell I would ever go on to the media at all.
So it depends. Like, people are good, prepared, know what they're talking about. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but you've got to know what you're talking about, and you've got to be able to answer those hard questions. If you're not prepared and you're going to be flustered with those hard questions about being like America, then you just shouldn't do it, man. And some guy said here, C. Henderson said, Zane Beaton has addressed his engagement on various live streams he does each Friday evening. I didn't know about this guy until last week, so didn't know about him, don't know about his live stream, never watched one, so I can't comment about live streams or why or how it come about. At the end of the day, it's on TV. What do you do? The commentary, from people in comments obviously wasn't very flattering. It's like, where do they always seems to find that one person that just pulls up short and can't get the questions right and can't get the right answers out. And it's just, man, I just wish it didn't happen sometimes. I really done. But, again, some people, not saying this guy, but there are people out there in the past that, you're just sort of like, I've got to get on TV, got to represent shooters, but just being woefully underprepared. And it shows when they severely screw up. And we've seen it from very, very experienced pro-gun politicians. So that just can't answer the questions, or they believe in gun control. They believe in this sort of stuff. So when they screw up, they're not actually screwing up. It's what they actually believe because they keep saying the same screw-ups over and over and over. So anyway, all good.
No, if you're just going to get on just because you want your mug on there and you're showing off a gun, exactly like that story, man, that's not helping at all because you're just now adding to more stock footage that will probably show up in the future. It's something I just would not do. If a TV station approached me, I'd just say, no, not interested, go away. No, couldn't give me enough money to do it.
Yeah, they're going to do the thing anyway. And someone said, did the guy have a gun license? Like, well, I don't know if he had the gun license or not. I presume it would have been legal, but we know from previous WA, not in WA, but we know from previous issues when it's convenient, they'll prosecute. When it's not convenient, they won't. So,
yeah. Yep, exactly. Yeah, so that was something very interesting this week. I don't know the guy. I didn't even know his shop. I knew nothing about the guy. I don't even know his name, to be quite honest with you. I just saw something in a comment on someone's page.
Yeah. Let's hope. Let's just hope people learn from the mistakes. I mean, I just really starting to think, man, there's very, very limited, even in our politicians, even our organisations, politicians, there's very, very limited pro-gun people left, man. A lot of them have swallowed the gun control pill. A lot of them say no to self-defence. It's really becoming quite a bad thing for us shooters, unfortunately, that, they don't believe in, self-defense. They don't believe in semi-autos. They don't believe in suppressors. They love all the gun control, man. They've literally swallowed the John Howard pill 10 times over. And it's just like, man, these people are just wide-anting our cause of trying to get our rights back, or at least trying to get the government to restrict some of these items like suppressors. But the only ones that care about it, the ones that want to make money or just don't believe in what we believe in, which is a real shame. A lot of us that watch this live stream still want their rights back. They want to get suppressors. They want the government and the police to get off their back. Whereas, there's organisations and stuff out there that love this sort of stuff and don't believe what we believe in. That's why there's a massive clean out required.
Yeah, exactly. And it's quite a funny one. Megan, would have been different if the outcome was if the firearm was zeroed at 100 metres and shoot off the shoulder, but somehow he already knew how to load it and been practicing. I think he must have scoped himself when he was practicing, probably his first shot.
Scribe7 says Jace is jealous the scope kissed old mate. I was like, hey, that's never happened to me yet. Hey, I've been very lucky. I've been, although I do have one of the, I did get the Night Force SHV, which I didn't show anyone. That's on it might go on the 243. That's the 4-14 F1. But SHV, but it's got a not very good eye relief, put it that way. I think it's like 2.8 to like 3.1 at max, or max than 3.1 inches. So not very good compared to a lot of the scopes in that price range are around 3.5 to 3.8. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I've come close once being scoped, and that was a 458 lot. I was wearing my sunglasses and just felt it touch the top of the sunglasses. I thought, geez, that was a bit close, but that was the only time. I do know a guy who got his gun license and talked it up in front of everyone at a party, how fantastic he was and all this, and he knows everything about guns, but he only got his license that week, went out and bought a 17 HMR, and somehow, on his first shot, scoped himself with it.
Yeah.
and at this party, he was all talking himself up.
You got to get good eye relief on those big calibers, that's for sure, man. So maximum eye relief from a decent quality scope. That Night Force SHV with a 2.8 to 3.1 is pretty average for the price of that scope. Very average, not very good at all. You'd consider that sort of scope eye relief for that price scope, but. Anyway, what do you do, man? The article's been done, the video's been recorded, which we just said, on what's just happened with that shot. And I don't know what they hope to achieve, man. Like really 300 meters with a doped rifle with some reloads, man. It's easy, dude. Like even factory ammo, that's a 1-inch group like 243, easy to shoot 300 meters. Like really, that's the best they could do. Stretch that out to 600 and then 700, see how it goes, and then some windy conditions. I mean, 300's a piece of piss, really.
Yeah, exactly. And that group was shocking for 300. I've had shooters out. Even I got them on steel with better groups than that at 1,000 meters. First time they ever shot a 308, and they were ringing steel at 1,000 meters, and they got a group sort of like that. And at 1,000, that was beyond shocking.
We didn't. first time I've heard of the bloke too. So if anyone knows the company, are they good over there, or there's problems? I don't know. Let us know. Is there, have anyone had any run-ins, or is it just a one-off or something like that? But some of the comments I read on my page seems it's unfortunately not a one-off, which is disappointing if that's true. Can't confirm or deny that, but yeah.
It's sort of like our friends over in WA. It's sort of like a different world. We don't really know much about WA on this side of the island at all. So, not good at all. But, some interesting comments here, that's for sure. Yeah, a bit of a disappointing article, that is. I just don't think anyone should talk to the media in that sort of circumstance, I should say, just to get their mug on the face to try and boost their I don't know, credibility or something. I don't know why you'd do it. I just wouldn't do it myself.
Anyway, we haven't even talked about the bloody shortage, man. It's 8:25. Let's do that for 15 minutes, then get into answering some people's questions.
Okay, so this was, I know our friend Chris Miller has asked me about this, and this is from Matt from Patreon. He goes, "G'day, mate. I would love to hear about reloading and availability of powders and primers. And what are people doing when they can't get their the stuff they usually use?" Well, so I've talked to a couple of people. I talked to a gun shop today, and he said he's got, like everyone's saying about 2208 is the big one right now. So that's ADI. We're talking about the Australian gunpowders here, guys. So for overseas ones, ADI is made here in Australia. I think it's sold in America as Hodgkins. And someone commented on my page today that they're sending 3 containers a month of it over to the US military. I don't know if that's true. Never heard of that before. I don't know about that. But the gun shop I talked to today, he said that it's hard to get any information, but he can only get the small bottles of a lot of the stuff. The big stuff is basically non-existent. And what he said, what everyone's talking about, is that last year they started to update their machines. Their machines were from like World War II. So that's why you can't get AP 50 and AP 70 anymore. And I think AP 30. That's all been changed to their new powders, because the new machines cut it in a different way. So now they're going to bring out all these new powders. Eventually they're going to change, well, from what he was saying, it's going to change. They're going to change all their machines over to the new machinery. They bought all the machinery and they're slowly upgrading all the machines. So that's why there's a shortage, because they got to stop making it, and then while they swap the machines over. And also I think it's got something to do with the actual transport of it. There's so many stupid rules about transporting powder now. I've heard that you can't just park up at night and sleep. You have to go to a warehouse and get that container unloaded at a warehouse storage facility, and then you have a few hours sleep, and they go load your truck back up again. Yeah, so right. I know I talked to a sales rep, and he meets someone on the border and drops all off. He's got a license to load up his trailer with a certain amount of bottles, and then he loads a trailer up on the border and carries on and drops it all off to the shops. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if people, let us know in the comments, are you going to your shops if you're reloading and you're going to the shops? Are you seeing any issues with buying powder? Is there certain powders you can't buy, certain weights? Have they got the small packets or the big jugs, whatever they want to call it, big bottles, small bottles, I should say? What are you guys picking up? What are you not picking up? Let us know in the comments, and also let us know which states as well you're in as well. When you let us know those details, we'll read some of them out. Are you having troubles, getting the big bottles or the small bottles? What's the situation? Let us know.
Yeah, well, I can only see the small bottles, and my mate said he's only got small bottles. He's finally got about 20 small bottles coming in. So I've heard everything's rumours, like everything in this industry. Everything's rumours. It's more they're going to end up getting all the powders now are going to be swapped over, going to be changed out for brand new powder. So you're going to have to do all your load development again with everything.
Yeah, I got my 2209 runs the 260 and the 243. And Matt Cato was just saying here too. He said he can't. Sorry guys, he can't get 2209 anywhere. So maybe help Matt Cato out if someone's got some, but he can't even send it to someone, can you? Because it's bloody powder.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Brett Morris, rumour has it ADI are going back to making AP 50, 70 and 100 because the new versions are crap. Yeah, see if that does. But from what I heard, that the actual new machines cut the powder in a different way. They can't replicate exactly what the old machines are doing because they were made like back in World War II. So I think that's why.
Trevor Hill's having trouble getting anything in Rockhampton, trouble getting anything, he said. C. Henderson said, I think the blokes in the shops in WA are putting it aside for themselves, for their mates or big customers. So we've got Barclays of getting 08, which is 2208, I think is what he means anyway. So, but I don't know if they'd be doing that. But, hey, anything's possible these days with the amount of shortages. People do some strange things or there's some strange pricing. Pricing seems to be going up in some areas, and because again, when it's in demand, you can put your prices up.
Yeah, also it's the amount of powder. There's so many restrictions. The amount of powder that they can actually hold in their store is very, very limited. So it's another problem as well. They can only buy small amounts at a time, and it just goes out straight away. Apparently, American powders. They're overflowing, but everyone just wants the ADI stuff because it is very good stuff to use.
Jake Blake, 2209 at H&S Bairnsdale in Victoria. So if you're near there, you can check out your 2209.
Yeah. Yep. And here's Aaron. So this is something we talked about, Jason. Vortex. Oh, sorry, I changed the subject. Vortex aren't bad. We use these a lot here in the States. Yeah, Vortex really look after the shooting community in the US. Not like here. Not like any of the wholesalers really over here. They don't really look after the shooting community, in my eyes. But yeah, they sponsor everybody, the smallest channel to the biggest channel. They just throw goods at them to get their products on camera. But over here, you won't see that. But yeah, that's why they're so popular. I'll give it to Vortex in the US. They are so popular because their marketing, they just give it out to everybody on screen. So it's just in everybody's face. And it's just repeating and drummed into their heads. That's how they do so well over there.
Yeah, if only that market was as good as over here, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice. I mean, we've had some good results in the past with some good, wholesalers and that. So we've had some good relationships, which is fantastic. You know what I mean? But I guess what you probably mean by that is the majority. The majority. There are some good ones, but the majority not too crash hot.
No, we've talked about that before. Yes, people are saying that the 2209 is hard to get in Tasmania sometimes, and Matt said can't get 2209 anywhere. Yeah, it seems to be 2209 and 2208. That is really hard, which is a shame because they are so popular, and I've dialed my rifles in for both those powders, the 3006 and the 308 target rifle. They're dialed in for that.
If you're seeing any powders in shops and that, what they've got, let other people know. Let us know what areas you're in. That way people can see the comments as well. And if they're close to that shop or they can travel, they might be able to pick up something from down there. So, because I'm running out of some 2209 as well. I think I'm going to be okay. But, it's going to be interesting. I'm running out of 2209 because the 260, I think I've gone through a bit, is that large one? Is that 3 or 4 kilo? I can't remember, or 3.5 kilo, but whatever it was. But I've gone through pretty much most of it. I've only got 500 grams left. So, and also too, we having trouble getting components, guys, like bullets and that, projectiles. Are you guys having any trouble picking up your chosen projectiles? Let us know that in the comments too, because, man, I bought up, as you guys know, about probably how long, Darren? 6 months. I got a bunch of the 140s, got a good deal on the 140 ELD matches, which I use at a lot of my guns. Really good, and I got them cheap, and even the shipping, because I had to get them from interstate. The more that I bought, it didn't get much cheaper. Sorry, much more expensive for the shipping. It was only like an extra 500 projectiles. It was only like $7 or $8 per extra 500. So I ended up buying about 2,500 of those 140 grain ELD match. So I think I ended up getting them inclusive of postage. I worked out the full price. It was about $54 a box, which is pretty awesome considering they're going for about $73 to $80, somewhere around there. Depends on where you buy. So, let us know. Chris Miller just said he bought 1,000 ELD M308 168s from Hornady. He got them last week. Yeah, you need to buy up when they're available, guys. I hate to be a stickler for, like buying all the stock from the shop, of course. You've got to let other people get a chance too. But, again, at the end of the day, you don't know when these things are going to be back in stock, do you? So,
well, I just waited 4 months for my 6.5 PRC projectiles. The Sierra Match Kings. 4 months for the bloody things. So, hopefully this time it's going to work for me and I can buy up bulk. That's for sure. And also,
let me say one thing about that too, because you brought up again, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, we didn't mention it, but I wonder when our Australian powder makers, like obviously ADI being one of them, or the one, right? I wonder if do they service our market first? Are we first priority? I'd love to find out that information. If anyone knows, is America the first priority? Because I think Hodgdon powder, they don't actually make powder. I never knew that. They don't actually make powder. So I don't know if it's ADI or what it is. But
From what I know, it's just rebranded ADI because their load date is the same. The Alliant powder is good, but it's American made. It burns a lot hotter and it's a faster powder. Not bad at all. Now, another thing is primers. Now, I've been told by a wholesaler, primers are going to be very scarce very soon. He said later on the year, primers in America, they are pretty much like it's like buying drugs over there. It's like all secretive because you can't get them and it's all hush hush. Oh, this place has got them. I've heard that from a few people over there. Primers are starting to get a bit short on supply over there, and apparently it's going to happen over here too. Later on. I hope not. So stock up on primers, powder, projectiles, even brass. We got our brass. Just stock up on reloading components, and that will last you for a couple of years, I dare say. Hope none of this really comes to fruition, but best be safe than sorry.
Rose said she used to buy 1,000 boxes of projectiles, only 100 boxes available now. Yeah. Oh, that's what I want to see. They got to start boxing them up in 500 and 1,000 lots. I don't know why they're not doing that. They are in certain brands, but again, most people, why would you buy 100? Most people are probably going to buy, I guess, some people buy 100, but if you've got a gun that's shooting with a good load, I do want to see them up that, $500 and $1,000 lots, man. Even if they can sell them for a good price as boxed 100s, that's fine. But if they can't do that, good size 500 big boxes, 500, I reckon that'd be, something that you get a bit of a discount because you're buying bulk, and then maybe some 1,000s, or if not minimum 500. That way people can buy, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever money they've got, boxed up lots of 500. I think that'd be good. But one other question I wanted to ask, I saw this in the comments, Aaron. I'm not sure if they're still in the 500 gram ADIs or they're still the 1 kilo. Let me know in the comments because I haven't bought any for 2 years because I've had the large boxes or the large tubs. What are you for your 500 or 1,000 or so 1 kilo? How much are you paying? And for your big your big containers of powder, your 4 kilos. Tell me your prices. What are you seeing? Like, seems to be anywhere from about $350 to $450. So let us know what you're paying for the 4 kilo. I'd love to find out, and then where you're from as well. So that'd be good, so we know what pricing in what state to let people know. Yeah.
Well, here's James. My go-to shop has a fair bit of powder on the Gold Coast. So there's a bit down on the Gold Coast. I know Browns Plains is getting a big order in down here at Browns Plains Firearms in Brisbane. They're getting a big order in of powder very soon, he was saying. But, across the board, it's I'm getting comments from all over the country. Can't get this, can't get that. What I've been told, you'll be able to get stuff like primers and projectiles and ammunition. You'll be able to get it, but it may not be what you want. So you're going to be able to get something, but you're just going to have to do with whatever you can get, sort of thing. It could end up being like that. And it's started to be like that now, especially with boxed ammunition. You can get 308, but it may not be the 308 or may not be the 22LR brand. It may be some other brand you're going to have to get.
Andy says 4 kilo 2209, $450 in Vic. Shit, man, it's going up, eh? Crazy 88's 4 kilo 2206H and 2209 395. That's a big difference, man. Eh? From maybe Andy Armour, maybe he's in a small town, so they've got to spend that extra cost because of shipping. But 395. Rose said paid $100 a kilo recently for 2206H. Let us know what you're paying, guys. Here we go. Tube users. Man, these names. 2206H around 430 for 4 kilo in WA, 345 for 4 kilo sizes in Queensland. So, yeah, okay, that's fine. And 2209, 345 in Queensland. Yeah, that's good. Dirty Fox, last 4 kilo of 06H I got was 400. Kingaroy in Queensland. Next lot going up by $40. $125 for 1 kilo of ADI 2208 from Badger James.
Gee, man, that's a lot, man.
Cheaper, eh? Shit's just not getting any cheaper, man. It's getting I know a guy who doesn't have a very good job. He works, he tries his hardest, got a couple of kids. He can't afford to go shooting, man. He just can't outlay $400 on reloading powder, man. It's just not realistic, man. It's not realistic. Yep. Like it's becoming a rich man's sport, which sucks for the people that not going to be able to afford it. I mean, people have got to go hunting, and if they're going to shoot long range and have to put bullets down range, it's going to be expensive, and people just can't afford it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you just look at projectiles. I might have to go the Barnes full copper projectiles, long range, and that for 100, they're well over $100, well over $100. It's a couple of dollars a projectile or something for the 6.5. It's just ridiculous. Things are just, as we said before, too much markup. And from what I've been told, and I can't verify any of this, but what I've been told is that the wholesalers slap on way too much bigger markup. Then the shop's got to put theirs on, then finally we get it from us. So it's just, it's just too many hands in the pot. I'd like to see a company, for example, the perfect world would be like, say, Ruger, for example. Ruger opens up a Ruger facility here in Australia. They service Indonesia, Australia, and New Zealand. The gun shops goes directly to that warehouse and buy the guns straight from Ruger themselves and cut out the middlemen. And then we can, it's ridiculous when you look at the price of guns, and they're 2 or 3 times as dear as what you can buy in other countries. And it shouldn't be like that. And that's going to be the end of our sport is greed. That is what's going to be the end of the sport.
Carlos Spicy Wiener said he needs to figure where you're from, Carlos, because we want to find out where you're from. He said, I need to figure out how to sell powder in Australia. That stuff is cheap and plenty here. Yeah, well, hey, you know what we should do? Let's create our own powder brand. I wouldn't know where to start, and I'll probably blow myself up, but you know what I mean? Surely it can't be that hard to make, is it? Shit, can't be that hard, but then you need machines. Forget it. That sounds like a bad idea.
And then you got all the insurances and everything. So, Carlos says 10 pounds is $25 where he lives.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
How many kilos is 10 pounds? Because I don't know about the old medieval.
Was it 4.4 pounds to a kilo? So what's that? Was it 2.5 kilos? What is it? What do we say? How many? Hang on, let me say pounds to kilos. How much did he say?
$25 for 10 pounds.
Wow, that's 4.5 kilos. Yeah. Wow.
Jeez, yeah, we're definitely getting screwed.
2.2 pounds to a kilo. What am I thinking? Anyway, I'm thinking quarts in the US. But anyway, yeah, man, 10 pounds for 4.5 kilos. What? $25? Is that 25 pounds? Did he say?
For 10 pounds, $25.
What country? What country?
I'm assuming it's America.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
$5.
Yeah. No, that's unreal. ADI is made here in Australia. Why can't they give it to the Australian public at a good price? What's going on? It's made here. There's no shipping. There's no containers. What?
Yeah. I'm just thinking 25. What do you say? $25 for 10 pounds. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
$32.80 for 4.5 kilos. It can't be that. It can't be. It can't be.
No, that might have to look something up. Where are you from? And how do we bring it in? It's the next thing.
Get it for us. Hey, we've got a contact now.
Yeah, well, I'll load a container up and we'll sell it off in my backyard.
Obviously, God, we're just kidding. We don't want to do that. We're not breaking any laws.
No, we wouldn't even think about doing that. Geez, yeah, I'd like to know where that is. I guess you could look up some American sites to see what it is. It's just unbelievable. And here we go.
Here we go. I'm on the. I don't think that's. Is you sure that's correct? I'm having a look here. Here we go. I've got the Allion Reloader 10X. I know it's smokeless gunpowder. No, I'm just getting a rough example. £5. No, I don't think it's right. It's about $30 a pound because they're saying $149 for £5. So
that's $100 for 4 kilos, basically. So that's a quarter of the price.
So what do you say? £5, 149, £5. So what's that? I'm just looking now. 149. So about $195 Australian for
half price.
£5.
Under half price. And ADI is made here in Australia. So what's going on? Why? It's just not that. I talked about this before. I had to buy a few tools this week for work. That's why I'm poor and I can't go shooting this week. I had to buy some new tools so I can actually go and make some money. And I was looking up on YouTube, just doing research on the tools. Mate, one drill I brought, it was literally almost 4 times the price here in Australia than it is in the US. And you can't justify that. There's no reasoning for that. And I said before, I know guys who buy their tools from England and it landed here in 4 to 8 weeks for half the price.
£5 is 2.26 kilos, so it's still behind there by 1.73 kilos. So, yeah, I mean, if you add, I'm just trying to find some other ones here, just to get some clarification on what the differences are in price. But I don't know if they make. I'm seeing a Lion powder. They don't make a £10. I think they only make a £5.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's one you've used before, man? Tell me one. You got Reloader 22, Lion powder, £5 because we got Reloader 22, Reloader 22. I'm just having a look, guys. Read out some comments while I'm looking at that.
Yeah, Victorian. Oh, not gun road. Tools are a joke how expensive they are. Yep, they certainly are. That's for sure. Okay, Andrew, $149 for a pack of 20 shitty Remington Core Lock 300 rum. That's why I reload. Jesus, I remember when I was when I first got my rum. I don't know if you're from over here, but it was $110, $90 or $100 or $110, around that sort of price for a box of 20. And I didn't buy anything factory. I just went straight to reloading. You find a lot of people who shoot the rum and that. Even 300 Win Mag now, people just reload for it.
Hey, listen, it was funny when I went on my trip just on the weekend. One of the guys had the 6.5 Creedmoor, and I felt dirty. No, just kidding. I love the Creedmoor. Anyway, he goes, "Can you pick me up some Hornady, the Precision Match 140s?" And I thought, "Oh yeah, no worries, man. Like how many boxes?" And about $68 for 20. Man, we were there, and he had to sight the gun in. We had to shoot the gong, make sure it was all on at distance, obviously to make verify the loads and do the trajectory validation. Mate, he went through like 20 shots trying to sort it out within 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. Well, couldn't have been that long. And I'm like, shit, man, that's like $70, just gone. Boo, like I'm like, this is crazy. Like, and so I bought 3 boxes for him. It was $205 or somewhere around there. $208 it was. And I said, well, mate, you better bloody put the money in my bank account as soon as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, wow, man, like you have to reload, man. I know people that don't reload, they're shooting 10 rounds a year and so forth, but holy crap, man, $70 a box of 20. If I shot like 50 or 60 varmints on a weekend, that's $200. Then you got fuel, you got food, you got, costs and that wear and tear on your vehicle and so forth. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, there's Colin, checked UK about $80 per pound for powder on average. Jeez.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, well, they got it tough over there, that's for sure. Yeah, they definitely do have a tough and all thing that we're going to find out in a few weeks when we have someone on the show.
Hang on, that's one second. I think it goes Matt Cato goes, I paid $85 for a box of 20 3006 180 grain Hornady SSTs. That's why I now reload. Yeah, mate, for $85. But again, I think a lot of people, the definite pricing increase, I think so. Anyway, I don't know if people agree with me. Let me know in the comments. Could be totally wrong. But I've noticed a big change in reloading components and the pricing going up, man. Like, reloading used to be a really super economical way to reload and get the best out of your rifle. Now I just think, factory ammo is obviously pretty expensive, but again, these components are starting to continually go up and up and up and up and up, where I just don't think we're getting as many benefits for reloading price-wise as we used to, say, even 5 up to 10 years ago.
Well, I can tell you now, if that ADI goes up much more, it's going to be cheaper to buy the American stuff, and I'll just go back to the American stuff, to be quite honest with you. There's nothing wrong with it. If the Australian ADI just prices itself out of the market, I'm just going to go with a cheaper one, because it's just getting too expensive to shoot now. It costs a lot to make the videos, and people say, "Oh, why does it cost so much?" Well, look at the ammo prices. I go through a lot of rounds every time I do a video. So that's why you look at that 4570. That was $300 in ammo for that small 5-minute review.
I was like, man, sorry guys, I had a bit of an error there. That's crazy. I think Bagara HMR said $101 for a box of 308 150 grain soft point Sarko or Seiko at Wild Outdoors Geelong. Good deal. Then he said box of 50. I was about to say, holy shit. I'm hoping it was a box of 50, because mate, 20 rounds for $100. That'd be next level, man. Like, that's just crazy. But 50, but how much 50? If you're looking at, say, what, $40 a box, let's say, of 308, that's just standard 150 grain. 308 would be fairly common. What do you got there? What, 820 bucks? Yeah, I mean, fuck, it's still 50 shots, man. Like, again, if you're going deer hunting, you're shooting 10 rounds a year or 5 rounds a year, that's not a big deal. But if you're getting into some varminting or some long range shooting, man, it's not uncommon to put 100 to 200 rounds on a trip of multiple guns. Man, shit's getting crazy, for the pricing.
Oh, it is. It is. Thank you very much, Matt, for the $20 for the ammo fund. I really appreciate that. That will go to the next gun. I was actually talking to Gary. We're going to have the actual 44. If you haven't seen it, the 4570 double barrel rifle video. That's done really well. Go take a look at it. They're the sort of videos I'm going to make now. I don't know who brings that in, but I ain't going to be giving, as I keep saying, other people can give free advertising to the big companies, because it ain't going to happen here. For all my years being a free sales rep, they're the sort of guns I'm going to review now. Interesting, odd ones you don't see every day, and people seem to like that a lot more than your run-of-the-mill guns. So that's why. So if you haven't seen it, go over and have a look at that video, because it was good. It was a lot of fun. I couldn't believe it. The 4570, no kick at all through that double barrel. I could have shot it all day. Like, it kicked like a 2-3, honestly. But it was a heavy gun. Man, it was so much fun. It really was.
Rose123 said, guns are cheap, but ammo is a scam. It's getting expensive.
Yeah, it's consumables, they make, because you got to use the ammo. You can't, most people only buy a couple of guns, but they've got to keep feeding the ammo, so make the money on the ammo, because that's what they're going to go through. Thank you very much for Daft Funky, Effie, some of these names, geez. Thank you very much, guys. Good name. Sorry for getting it wrong. $10. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. Well, get them on the. I think that's what's happening now. Everyone's reloading. I think I said that a couple of years ago in a video. Reloading's cheap and everyone's getting into it, but you watch when it gets more and more popular. Boom, prices will go up.
Even I'm thinking, man, I'm just in my mind going, fuck, I might have to, because I think I've got like 1,000. That's what I like about the 260 and the 243. They're all large primer, and I think I've got 1,000 Magnum primers. I think I've got 1,000 large primer. So I'm pretty good to go, and that'll probably last me a while. But I'm starting thinking, shit, maybe I need to make an order, get like a couple of, if I could afford it, swing a couple of grand or something, get some powder, get a bunch of powders, a bunch of primers and stuff like that, man. It's a bunch more bullets. But that's why I bought those 2,500 140s, just because shit, you got to secure a good deal when you can get it, and they're all sold out now. You can't get that anymore. Like, I got a deal on them for the 243 87 grain VMAX. So yeah, it's just, sometimes you got to pick up a deal when you see it, guys. If you can swing it past the wife or girlfriend or whatever you got going on, just get it done, because you're going to find when you're going to need. I remember years ago, Aaron, I was looking at the what were they? Nosler. A varmint load, the varmint loads, so the 223. And I was looking at the price on the box. I think it was a packet of 250, and it was like $48 a box, maybe 52. It was pretty low. And then my mate looked at it, and I go, I've had this for like 4 years, man. He looked at it, he said, is there a price on them? I said, yeah, it's like $48, $49 for a 250 quantity. And he goes, holy shit. He goes, way more than that now, dude. Like, he goes, I think it's well over double that now. And I go, oh, shit, wow. Crazy, man.
It is. Yeah, everyone's here just saying how expensive things are. And, here we go. James, when the Tikka ammo in 308 got recalled, they had to give me 800 rounds of Seiko hog hammer. Cop that, you dickheads at Beretta Australia. Yeah. What did he
say? What did he say? I didn't read that and see that.
All the Tikka ammo was faulty in the 308 at one stage. Remember that a year or so ago? And there was a big recall on it. And he's saying, they had to swap it over for the hog hammer Seiko, which is a really expensive round. So yeah.
And the reason we're talking about this is you guys are writing in. It's the only reason we're talking about this and the pricing, because you guys have written in. You've sent us messages on Instagram. Me and Aaron always talk about this stuff, the messages we get, and we collate the data and say, oh, this is what people are interested in talking about. This is what they're asking. That's, again, why we mentioned the Biden stuff and the scopes at the beginning, and people are starting to purchase overseas, because that's what you guys are writing into us and having a chat to us about. That's why we're bringing it up, and thought it'd be a great discussion about the pricing in Australia. So if you've got any more things like that, send it to us on Instagram message or Facebook message, or email us on our emails. Our social medias are in the description below, and just send us a message or an email or something, and just let us know what your particular, not issue, but what's going on, and hopefully we can bring it up in a future live stream. But man, things aren't getting cheaper. I'm not made of money. A lot of shooters have got to buy guns at a certain price point, because it's just, that's how. I mean, I was looking at mine, Aaron. I got like the varmint stainless, $1,800, $2,000 scope, $100 for dies, $70 or $80 a box for the 260 ammo, $90 for 50 260 brass shells. I mean, it's Atlas bipod rail, $150 20 MOA rail. This is like a $5,500 gun, and it's not even top of the range stuff. It's not even top of the range. It's probably, wouldn't say low, but it's definitely mid-range gun, mid-range scope. And I thought, man, how much money can we actually spend?
Well, I've got a story about it. This is interesting. I bought this is from Tube User. I brought 4,000 Sierra Super Roos 223 for $800 from a popular shop in Queensland. My local shop in WA was quoted $1,280, so he saved $500 pretty much just there. $480, unbelievable. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I was talking to a few, I always talk to like shops and that, and they question me. They contact me and say how they love the show and all that sort of stuff. But I always ask, what is the average price of a firearm? And the average price people have to spend is about $1,000 to $1,200. That's basically the amount of money people have to spend on guns, and that's getting harder and harder now. And really, Savage and Savage and Hauer are pretty much the only real brands, or the Ruger guns. Some of the Rugers, the ranchers, are pretty much about all they can buy. That's why Hauer is so popular here, because they're a cheap price, so sub 1,000. And then they all say, and what they spend on scopes, $500 is a massive investment for a scope for most people. They don't sell many scopes over $500, and all guns are normally around $1,000.
I mean, how many people do you get, buying, 2K scopes, and it's not even out of the plastic yet? I mean, how many do you get buying those? How many do you get people going, oh shit, you got a PST? I mean, they're almost $2,000 now, the PSTs. I mean, how many, again, I've had to save up my money for these guys, you know what I mean? I've had to save up my money, like I just no one's made of money either. So it's just, how many people are buying that quality of like that 1,800 to 2K scope? Very interesting. And a lot of people aren't. And Aaron speaks to the gun shops. He works directly and gets helped out by the gun shop. So he says, I was asking him, what's the average price of gun? What's the average price of the scope? And that's what we're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then people, and I get so many questions about people who are so discouraged about the seeing prices overseas, and when they're double or 3 times the price, it's just like, what the hell's happening over here? And they're getting very disheartened because they see these awesome guns and they can't afford them, and then they go look them up overseas, and they're like over $1,500 dearer than what you pay overseas, and there's really no reasoning for that at all.
I'll give you an example. This the other day, like I don't think there's a specific dealer before we finish off, Aaron, because it's 8:59. But my mate borrowed a lab radar. Mark might be still on the chat, I'm not sure, but we borrowed a lab radar off a friend. I thought this looks pretty bloody darn good. You know, I've got the magneto speed. I was having a few issues with the magneto speed. They are fantastic, but I was trying to on my 7mm when I was putting it on there, the recoil was only a light rifle. The magneto speed was sliding forward, and every time I had to pull it back onto the barrel, and it's cranked so tight. But anyway, I looked at the lab radar on the web on one of the strains. Someone's bringing them in, but I don't think they're an actual dealer because it says on the lab radar website they don't have any basically dealers in Australia. It was $1,250. I just bought one about probably 3 days ago after coming back from the trip, maybe 2 days ago, and it was $600 US. It cost me 890 Australian dollars to bring it to Australia. They've apparently got a 3-week back order. They're getting more in 3 weeks. I'm like, that's okay, man. I'm happy to save $350, and I've got to wait 5 to 6 weeks. That's okay by me. I mean, that's the sort of money. Like $350 is $350, mate. Like, it's just I can't justify spending extra $350 just because I'm supporting the Australian thing. It's a tough one for me, man. $350. I can't afford to let go of $350.
Well, I've had to go buy, change the subject a little bit. This is a classic example. I've had to go buy a gurney because I needed it for work. The $409 online here from overseas. The same one, different brand, exactly the same, $1,400 in Australia. Go figure that. Yeah. So it's getting a bit out of hand, that's for sure.
Well, let's hope when Biden, screws the economy, although I hope he gets in the way because, I've got some investments I don't want to get fucked over. But
I don't want my American friends to get stuffed over.
Yeah, I don't want my superannuation to go to shit. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Let us know. This is a good conversation for next time. Maybe we talk about that sub, guns and in the sub price range and so forth. But we've got to run because it's 9 o'clock, guys. If you can hit that thumbs up, that'd be awesome. Just give it one last absolute smashing of that thumbs up. And check out the live stream again. Share it with your friends and family. Let us know any topics you want to talk about next week because I'd love to talk about them, man, and get some information out there. So I'd really, really appreciate that. And thank you for all the people that are watching in the live stream. I mean, we were well above 200 tonight for most of the night. That's bloody fantastic. Good to be a part of it. Good to answer questions. And bloody hell, it's like become a little bloody community, a little family and community.
Yeah, it's good. It's good seeing all the return people, which is good. And we're seeing a lot more people from America, which is good because they're interested in what we do and we're interested in what they do. Like here's a new one I've never seen before. Hello, Ro. When things happen here in the US, do you guys get throttled from your politicians? Yeah, they sometimes make noises about, a couple of times you heard them make noise about more gun bans in Australia because of a shooting that's happened in America. That's happened a few times. Maybe we should say to all the American viewers in here, email me, or it's easier on Instagram. Send me your questions about what you want to know about Australian gun laws, and maybe we can do one and explain our gun laws to you and what you're basically going to be in for, because by the sounds of it, Biden wants Australian gun laws. I'll be happy to answer that.
He's dreaming. He's not going to do anything. If he's going to he'll try to introduce some things. It'll be overturned at the next election if he loses. People aren't going to stand for it. There's a Second Amendment for a reason. They keep talking about this stuff. It never comes to fruition. I've already seen the links on Facebook to our media. Got to get. Again, Australians are stupid. Sorry, most Australians are dumb. They don't understand the Second Amendment. They don't understand what the Constitution means. It's not possible to change that. So it's just stupid to even talk about it. And again, a lot of Australian people, outside the shooting community, are dumb, don't understand that. They keep going, we've got to be like Australia. No, it's not going to happen. Anyway, let's finish off. Dude.
Yep. Well, thank you very much, guys, for joining us tonight. It has been a fantastic talk, and it's always fun catching up with you guys. So please, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. A couple of you have just come in from the US and said you've subscribed. Thank you very much. And find us on all the social medias. And please, if you can, donate to our Patreons. Would really, really appreciate it. All the links are down below. So, guys, have a fantastic week, a good, safe weekend, and see you in 7 days' time. Good night.